is Stephanie Christensen, Executive Director of ShelterBox Canada, and she joins me from Toronto. Good to see you this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's talk about the situation. What's it like on the ground in Haiti right now?
It's difficult. There's definitely tensions rising. It's difficult to get aid where it needs to go. There's a bottleneck at customs. There's a lot of logistical challenges, and understandably, there's hundreds of thousands of people that desperately need aid now.
And what has the response in Haiti been like so far?
It's a difficult response. There's a lot of factors going on. The most affected areas are hard to reach. Planes are having difficulty landing because of damaged tarmacs. There's debris all over the roads. We're dealing with security situations going through gang-controlled areas. There's a lot of political turmoil still since the assassination of the president last month. And there's, a lot of bottleneck at customs too. There's a lot of very well-meaning people sending aid outside of the coordinated humanitarian system, and that causes problems for the coordinated effort. And it's a very challenging situation.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there, right? So can you tell me about the necessities the ShelterBox is providing for the people in Haiti?
So we specialize primarily in emergency shelter. We have heavy-duty tarps, tools, and building materials ready to go that will allow people to either repair damaged structures or build locally appropriate shelters from scratch, and we provide all the training to do that. We also have crucial supplies like water purification, solar lights, blankets, mosquito nets, those basic essentials that allow people to survive now, but also begin their own recovery process.
And Stephanie, I know you mentioned it just a while ago, but tell me what's needed to ensure the aid reaches those in need directly?
So I think there's a lot of organizations that are well placed to help. ShelterBox works directly with communities to understand their needs and make sure they can lead their own recovery. I think the best way that people who want to help can do so is to find a professional humanitarian organization that you trust and donate that way. Sending goods, well-meaning, can really cause a bit of chaos on the ground. But we need to work together and get aid to people as soon as possible.
So if you're a person who's watching this right now and you want to help, what is the best thing for them to do? If you get to that organization, should you send goods or should you donate? What's the best course of action?
Donating money to an organization you trust is the best way, in my opinion, to help. And donations can be made through ShelterBox at ShelterBoxCanada.org if anyone would like to support our efforts.
Yeah, and as you just mentioned as well, there's a lot of different factors going on in Haiti, making things very challenging. So how is a hurricane complicating things on the ground?
It was just one more thing. So we have, people are having to decide whether they sleep in buildings that could be dangerous or sleep outside in the mud, in the rain, in the wind. People were sleeping out in soccer fields and stuff under tarps, and the wind from the hurricane damaged a lot of that. So people that managed to salvage a few things now have really nothing. It's very complicated. And on top of, two disasters back to back, there's been over 600 aftershocks that are continuing to cause damage, and we've got COVID on top of all of this. So we want to be able to get people in their own shelters as quickly as possible so that they can socially distance. Standing water, we're worried about cholera and other spread of diseases. So it's an extremely challenging situation at the moment.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. I know it's just one crisis on top of another crisis on top of another crisis. All right, that is Stephanie Christensen. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you.